Very funny. Which one of you did this in my boot?
Day of reckoning for the 2009 British and Irish Lions. They finished the stronger of the two sides last week. Can they take that momentum and start with a flourish here in Pretoria? They cannot afford to play catch-up again against this Springboks side who'll have achieved everything in the game if they win today. Just a reminder, we're interactive as well. Press your red button for access to stats, highlights and archive footage. But we're in high definition on Sky Sports HD1, channel 408 this afternoon. Keep everything crossed. Match commentary comes from Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
Yes, Simon, well, last week when South Africa had it won, had they powered on from there, they probably would have had the series too. Yet the Lions had the finish. And surely 5 more minutes and the test was theirs. And the great thing about a 3-match series, and the Lions are the last surviving reason for one, is that you get another chance. Can the Lions take it?
Well, they showed enough behind the scrum to suggest that Lions fans' march on Pretoria might not be in vain. If Adam Jones and Simon Shaw could stabilise the scrum and more, Loftus could fall to the Lions' attacking game. The visitors start well, and anything is possible.
South Africa have made one change to the 15. Scope Burger is back for Heinrich Rousseau to win his 50th cap. Here's the whole of the Springbok side.
Tendam Taru, prop.
John Smith, prop. Bismarck du Plessis, hooker.
Bakkie Spota, second row. Victor Matfield, second row.
Skalkberger, back row. John Smith, back row. Piers Spies, back row.
Rita Priya, scrum off.
Ron Pienaar, fly off.
John de Villiers, centre.
Adrian Jacobs, centre.
Ryan Banner, wing.
JB Peterson, wing.
François Steyn, fullback.
So 5 balls on their home field for the Lions, 5 changes in a match they have to win.
Kathleen Jenkins, prop.
Adam Jones, prop. Matthew Rees, hooker.
Simon Shaw, second row.
Paul O'Connell, second row.
Tom Croft, back row.
David Wallace, back row. Jamie Heaslip, back row.
Mike Phillips, scrum half.
Stephen Jones, fly half.
Jamie Roberts, centre.
Ryan O'Driscoll, centre.
Luke Fitzgerald, wing. Tommy Bowe, wing.
Rob Carney, fullback.
The Lions have just equalled their worst ever run against the big 3. If it goes to 7 defeats today, the series is gone too. Loftus Versfeld, a ground on which the dreams of the away team are normally not just shattered, but turned into recurring nightmares. But the Lions have a good record here. They've won 3 out of the 4 tests. Scope Burger to lead out South Africa, his 50th cap. The Stormer on Bulls territory, but it's all one nation. And South Africa so close now to their cherished goal. The one that currently for them sits right at the top of the rugby ambition tree. To beat the Lions and to end 12 years of sporting frustration.
The Skulkberger will provide a huge amount of fire and fury up front and try and keep the Boks on the front foot. But from the Lions' perspective, they need to put Springboks on that back foot so they can get to Ruan Pienaar. So unflustered last week, the Lions on the back foot in the scrum couldn't get to him. Jamie Robert, well, he was the focal point in attack. Expect him to be a decoy early on, and Brian Driscoll to use the Irish back three to unlock the key to the Springbok defence.
The anthems. There was a rousing rendition in Durban. I suspect we will go up a notch or two here. South Africa call in blue ball. Chili boy Ralapele to cover hooker. 5-2 forward back split for them then. The Lions no place even on the bench for Mears, Vickery and Monya. Rochford, the first Scot in the test match, 22 on this tour. He's in, so too Sheridan and Williams. Christophe Bados of France, and this is a big day for the referee. Big step for him. He's never previously taken charge of a Tri-Nations or a Six Nations match. Spotlight time then for Monsieur Bados. Well, in sport these days, there always seems to be another day, a game or an event to move on to that somehow lessens the impact of what happens on the day itself. Well, that's not the case here. 4 years between Lions tours, and a lot happens in that time. Careers end, new stars are born, and it's over a decade before the Lions are due to return to South Africa. What happens here today matters today, tomorrow, and for many years to come. The Lions kick off, and they need a strong start. To banish those early memories of last week. But there's a bad memory, the rolling maul.
Very powerful from South Africa there, and psychologically that's a little point scored. They've got a penalty as well, and there's the first box kick. It's gone out, but Fourie du Preez knew the penalty was there. Good start for the Springbok 8. Lions under all sorts of pressure there.
Clearly fingers in the eye. 6
Wow.
The first penalty
against
Scott Berger is certainly back in international rugby.
Yellow card?
I think it's at least a yellow card as well.
At least a yellow.
6. After you put your finger, I don't know exactly, there is dangerous. No, you know, to deliberate.
It's yellow, not red. And for that, Berger and South Africa will be very grateful. The penalty will be reversed.
Big kick for Stephen Jones now, and after an impressive catch and drive, Berger, here he comes, he's up off the floor. Oh, there, Luke Fitzgerald, you can see that. Oh, we've seen penalties given, we've seen red cards given for that. And Stephen Jones, I don't know, I am a little bit surprised there that Jones didn't go for the 3 points. They've got a man over in the scrum. Here's the incident again, and he's working his eyes though with his left hand. That is gouging in anyone's eyes. He's lucky to be coming back.
Berger is a very lucky man on the evidence of those pictures. Massively lucky to just get a yellow.
Very positive now, the Lions. They didn't go for 3. Expect Roberts to be a decoy early on.
Simon Shaw was going round to get into midfield, but they don't use him. There's Phillips to Jones. There's another advantage here for offside against Fourie de Pree. And listen to the Lions supporters. Loftus has never seen this much red.
It's very important what the Lions do is come away with points. South Africa in the first half last week were outstanding when they got territory. They came away with penalty kicks or a try, but they came away and they built the lead. Now the Lions didn't do that in the first half. Here, they're 2 minutes into the game. They've had excellent attacking position and they should go 3-0 up. Good solid line out there. Simon Shaw getting straight into the game wide. These are the kicks that Stephen Jones simply must kick if the Lions are going to level this.
It's not easy when national hopes sit on the shoulders as the kick is lined up. Stephen Jones must get this, and does. Gets it for himself, more importantly, gets it for his team and their supporters.
Well, of course, it's not just the Lions having territory and getting points. They have got 9 minutes or so where they're 15 against 14, and they have to try and take advantage of that. Big advantage in international rugby, that extra man. The Lions will want a little bit more after 10 minutes than 3-0.
Pienaar restarts. Mike Phillips bundled down, but he's a big strong man, 6'3", over 16 stone. Stephen Jones again, this time defensively out of hand. De Pree. Rob Kearney, who did so well when he came on last week, and he's doing pretty well here. Fine catch, excellent run too. Phillips again, Jones is going right to find Tommy Bowe. Jenkins trying to get with him. Gethin Jenkins, inside it must go. Oh! Roberts was nearly through Fitzgerald too. It's another one of those, you know what, nearly moments. Now O'Driscoll's responding to what happened there. And he needs to keep his cool. Everybody gets to their feet in the stadium and everybody gets involved in the fracas.
It's what the first test lacked, but not this one. And O'Driscoll standing up to big Victor Matfield there. Ooh, the Lions have South Africa rattled. And they're not taking a backward step in Pretoria. Brilliant play from O'Driscoll's fellow Irishman, though. Rob Kearney and Tommy Bowe, the back three. Here's the fight. O'Driscoll catches one from Matfield. He says, I don't care how tall you are, have some of this. Everyone is in.
Number 5 green and a red player, just pushing each other.
Yeah.
Nothing in that.
Yeah.
13 red came in late, started pushing and getting involved,
Yeah.
and then continued for some time.
13 red.
Okay, number 7 green also got involved.
Yeah.
It's not a lot in it, my recommendation is 13 red as the first player in needs to be spoken to, and 7 green as well.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like there's going to be a bin.
13 and 7.
7 green is Ryan Smith, of course. Here he comes.
13 red.
But he came in for a bit of afters. Brian O'Driscoll, as you say, was not going to take a step back there. Victor Matfield, the ball.
Pass. After, both, a little fight. You start, and you restart, but the first is you. First penalty against you. Well, no clenched fists, so sensible officiating there. There was no need for a yellow card. The home crowd don't like it. But that, above all in the fight, was a real warning threat here. Matfield just shoves O'Driscoll, throws the ball back. Mike Phillips gets involved. But boy, that was frightening for South Africa, because that was a fabulous attack.
Carney keeps it in. Luke Fitzgerald, all Irish back three. First time that's happened for a Lions team since 1896. All Welsh front row, of course. First time since 1955. Oh, charge down! Peterson tries to gather and can't. The Lions are all over the Springboks here. Croft tried to pick up, and he couldn't. Pretoria, and that was nearly charged down too. Carney looking so calm for his team at fullback.
Great bomb.
Ball goes so high at altitude, and that's a good catch from Pretoria. Saw off Heaslip. Fitzgerald in for Monya. Jones. Here comes Habana. That came off Habana. David Wallace couldn't take it. Eddie Jacobs is there. It's Lions ball. Phillips, Jones. Just trying to force it maybe a little bit there. Fitzgerald, that was sensible play from the winger. Francois Steyn, good step. But the Lions will throw in, and it's still a good position.
Well, we talked about the Irish back three, and I must say, Tommy Bowe's ability to come from wide to in and just pick lines that South Africa aren't expecting, absolutely crucial there. Big holes, the Lions said there would be gaps in their defence. It takes the pace of a banner to get back. Well played, Gethin Jenkins, but the pass just not timed.
Big holes, no Berger, of course, still. Here's Jones, Roberts. Time and time again on this tour, he's been crashing through on that ball. Phillips, nice little delay to the oldest debutant in a Lions test match, Simon Shaw. Stephen Jones. Oh, he's got it out the side to Carney. Bowe's outside. Carney's going straight. Must be finished. Carney has finished. The belief that was there at the end in Durban, it's still here in Pretoria.
Great offload by Stephen Jones, but Rob Carney, he played so well off the bench. It would have been so easy to panic and give the early ball, and he waited and he forced the question onto the Springbok defence, and they didn't have the answer there. Brilliant play though. Jones's offload is superb. Carney plucks it. Steyn wants him to give it. Peterson comes, he goes low, no doubt about that. The Irish fullback has had a brilliant start, but that is class from Stephen Jones. Steyn fixed in no man's space. JP Peterson, one of the best covering tacklers in the world. South Africa stopped the Lions last week. They didn't this time.
Talking to him in the week, he said, I've had one match at altitude. He's not doing too bad in his second, is he?
He looks absolutely magnificent at the moment. Everything's coming off Carney. Now, Stephen Jones, a wonderful offload. Stick this through the post.
Jones. Stephen Jones! The Lions finding the gaps again and nailing the points as well.
That's just mesmeric from Stephen Jones. That run in line there of Carney's, though, it asks all the questions of the South African defenders. They can't put the doubt in his head. He makes them delay, and it is a brilliant finish.
And South Africa hardly out of their half, apart from these kicks. And Mike Phillips is off again. Look how rugged that was. just flicking the tacklers away, would-be tacklers. Stephen Jones wants the chase down the middle. Fourie de Preux. City all on his own watching this.
He caught
on
it.
A chair. Pitch side is Skulkberger, and Carney's done it again, and here's Jones, and here's Fitzgerald onto Brian O'Driscoll. That's charged down this time by JP Peterson. And South Africa get a little bit of respite. What a catch it was again.
Well, Rob Carney had no right to take that ball because there were too many bodies in the way. It was spectacular, and it's going to be so important for the fullback because in doubt the likes of Steyn and du Preez and Pienaar will go to the air. They will try and use the altitude to hurt the Lions, and Carney is coming up with all the defensive answers.
Less than 2 minutes on the bin, and it was Matfield getting a very big hand in there. Could be an important hand. Adi Jacobs, that bullet, and then the bullet runner Brian Habana, but it's turned over as it didn't find Habana, and it's Carney, who's had so many touches in these opening minutes. So too Phillips, who's been such a calm and strong presence behind the Lions pack. Stephen Jones, out wide it goes again from Brian O'Driscoll to Jamie Heaslip. Heaslip's going to have a barrel on. He's seen off Peterson. Back his Bota was rocking too. Heaslip's still going. Jones acts as scrum half, into midfield with Gethin Jenkins. He loves a run too, and they're calling for numbers on that far side if it's quick ball, which it's not. And it's a penalty too.
That's about the first thing that has gone against the Lions. It has been an incredible start. Jenkins goes down. Hughes are holding the ball. That's a very tight call there, and Mike Phillips can't get to it, and I think he just works the feet there, and he's getting a quiet warning there. But don't South Africa need Berger? This has been a magnificent start from the Lions. They had to start well. They said we mustn't let South Africa get away at Loftus. They've gone so much further than that. If this is a 100 metres race, they're a metre up after 10. Long way to go, but they have made the perfect blistering start.
Mixed reception for the South African coming out of the bin at home, and that's because this audience is split. It may even be favoured for the Lions. Just looking at that stand on that far side, it is all red, it seems. There's Captain Matfield, very important work at the line-out we just saw. 47th time that he and Bakis Botha have played together. The two balls in the second row for South Africa. Now, Fourie de Preux, oh, JP Peterson! And the home of the Bulls is today the home of the Boks. And that is some reply.
That's a great set-piece try. Johan Smith, so good at the tail of the line-out. Fourie de Preux, a constant threat. But the line of that man, JP Peterson, majestic. Ball at the tail, into the... You can see Wallace is held there, and he just comes late, Peterson. David Wallace is held by the running thread of the scrum half, and there's a metre gap, and he's straight through it. There you can see Wallace, he needs to be going wide, but he can't let the scrum half out of his sight. Brilliant riposte from South Africa.
And Peterson, the man who's developed a fearlessness to his game that has to be admired, showed all the skill as well to go with his normal bravery. A beautifully worked score. And Rohan Pienaar has missed the conversion. And he couldn't miss, it seemed, last week.
Oh, the danger of the scrum half. Great ball, but Fourie de Preux, he loves to come round into this hole, and this is what undoes David Wallace now. You can see, round he comes, so quick, he's on the gain line, just a check there from Wallace, and Peterson is through. That is a really well-worked try from South Africa.
That's a badly missed conversion. You wonder in the final analysis, will that matter? Fourie de Preux gets away from Fitzgerald, and that's not easy. Fitzgerald is quick. But that was Fourie de Preux at his best there. A man with cat-like qualities.
Well, he's the man I think the Lions behind the scrum really have to get to grips with today. He is king of this kingdom at Loftus Versfeld, one of the finest rugby players in the world, and that was just so well worked there. It used the strength of Joanne Smith at the tail, Bismarck du Plessis throwing, and that burning pace and threat of the scrum half.
Matthew Rees, well, it goes to Jenkins at the tail. That certainly wasn't the target. Brian O'Driscoll tries to beat the man. There was a call from Carney, and then the quick offload to Jones, who finds Bow and Tommy Bow. 4 tries on tour from the Ulsterman. Here's Gethin Jenkins. Feels he's much more of a complete player than he was in 2005 when he played in all 3 tests, and he was pretty good then. It's one of the pluses. Somebody's lost a boot. Phillips. Oh, that's what Mike Phillips loves to do, and he's a real handful in those situations. Adam Jones got there quickly too. There he is, just guards the fringe. Through comes South Africa. That's an arm out again, but through goes David Wallace. Almost guaranteed 3. The Lions looking for more with Jamie Roberts and Brian O'Driscoll. It's the penalty.
South Africa could not hold the Lions' offence in the last 20 minutes from all over. They struggled against set piece from the start, and again it's happening here. The Lions are making holes. Phillips first of all is darting. There you can see Bismarck du Plessis, he's come offside early. Christophe Burdos has an easy penalty to give, but again you see Mike Phillips just probing and prying in the middle of the field, and that is so important because that stops the likes of Jean de Villiers rushing. It asks questions of the South African defence. I just feel they look a little bit confused at 6s and 7s at the moment.
Well, if you got one from out wide, Stephen Jones was always going to get that. But all 3 conversions last week missed those 2 penalty goals. But suddenly, last week doesn't matter. Maybe it does in a way, because the Lions have brought that finishing game that they showed in the final quarter of that match to Loftus Versfeld today, and how?
I think it matters in the sense that 26-7, I think they were doubting themselves no matter what they said. That fight back at the finish convinced them they could win this game, and that last 20 coupled with this first 15 gives the Lions a fantastic chance here to level the series.
So does that scoreboard, which makes terrific reading, but there's a long way to go yet.
See how easily Peterson crashed through, we know that.
Bow chasing the Phillips box kick. It's come off Spies. And the referee calls it for the knock-on from the Lions.
Lions have got to be delighted with the quality of that kick from Mike Phillips. Sure, it was knocked on, but it gave Tommy Bow every chance. Spies, he gets up high, and that's the key. But that's a brilliant kick from the Ospreys scrum half, and Bow, like Rob Carney, is all over the place. He's buzzing everywhere at the moment, Tommy Bow.
One of 5 Ospreys in the Lions 22 today. Was Shane Williams part of that 22? Scored a wonder try on this ground a year ago. This is coming across to JP Peterson again in space. Fitzgerald's going to have to look lively here. Stain, the much bigger man, has taken Fitzgerald over. It'll be a 5-metre scrum, and now we will see if there's parity in the scrum. This is such a big moment.
Well, that is either a very lucky kick from the scrum half, or it's one of the best outside of the boot crossfield kicks you'll ever see. And knowing Fourie du Preez, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the latter. He's drilled it very low. Whichever way, the net result is brilliant. Carney does well to take Peterson out, and you've got to say Peterson, he can't do anything, but Fitzgerald forced to take it over. Francois Steyn carries him. Was that a moment of genius from du Preez, or was that very lucky? Only one man will ever know.
There's a moment of importance now. Can the Lions hold steady? Yes, they are. It seemed to be South Africa who stood up. It was! Christophe Burdos gives the penalty, and look at the pats on the hairy head of Adam Jones.
He's squatter, he's low to the ground, he's not an easy target for the beast in this driving South African pack. He said in the week, 15 years he's been playing, the Beast 3 years, maybe that experience can be brought to bear in that understated way. That wasn't an understated moment from Adam Jones.
Yes, Adam Jones talked about technique and how Paul Wallace used his technique against Oz Durant 12 years ago and how he was looking to emulate Paul.
Geez, you know it's a test match when people go mad from the scrums. Lions now, another penalty, and Bakkies Botha is losing it.
And that was very close, or should have been, to an extra 10 metres, because penalties given for the infringing at the line out, and then Bakkies Botha pushed the Lions player away.
Oh, he only pushed him, Miles. You can't give him 10 for that. I see where you're coming from.
You are no respecter of the law book.
This is a furnace, and that was a fine kick from Stephen Jones. Now, South Africa had an attacking scrum a minute ago on the Lions' 5-metre line, and you can see there as Morne du Plessis looks on, suddenly they are 75 metres downfield. The Lions have some momentum in this first quarter.
And that scrum, 5-minute scrum, felt like a try. Now the Lions looking for a try. Tom Croft need a bit of help there. Man who scored 2 tries on his Lions Test match debut last weekend. Here's Jones to Fitzgerald, the man on Lions debut today. There's the captain, Paul O'Connell. He's so proud of his men in this opening quarter of the match. And it's gone forward.
Just a little bit laboured in the end there. Pace of the ball goes, and when you just don't get sharp ball, of course, the pressure from the defensive side makes it so hard to control it and keep it clean. But well, South Africa, they finished the game huffing and puffing. And the Lions said, we think we've got a fitness edge. In this part of the world, that's heresy, because the view is Super 14 just conditions you so much better than the Northern Hemisphere. But the Lions are putting it to them.
Scrum goes down again. Judged to be a 50-50 moment there by the referee. And a lot of pressure for Fourie du Preez. He simply didn't have that last week. He had an armchair ride, didn't he?
And he wasn't at his best. I think he started very well here. The scrum goes down. Burgess doesn't know who it is sometimes in that situation. Let the game flow. It's a good kick from Fourie du Preez as well. The Lions, as Edwards looks on, Rees needs to make sure this line acts work. It's been stolen once. There's been the odd lucky one. It has to function. Oh, Croft.
It was made to function by Tom Croft, whose acrobatic take there made sure it stays as Lions ball. And Jamie Roberts has been gobbling up that possession in midfield and gobbling up the tacklers as well. Brian Habana, who can eat up the ground in the blink of an eye. That was nearly. This time it was South Africa's turn to have the nearly word used in connection with them. Bakkies Botha, how fired up is he? Here goes the beast. Tendai Umtawarira.
Number 4.
And that's gone against Simon Shaw.
So high tackle. No advantage because the player doesn't arrive by the gate. After we come back. Number 4.
The danger of Brian Habana. O'Driscoll is identified as a 3-on-2, and he's delayed the pass to just try and fix Habana, but Habana's very good at just watching. He watches and he waits, and he knows, he keeps his eye on the ball there, and O'Driscoll thinks the pass is on. He comes for the ball there. He's not thinking about a man and ball. He's thinking about 7 points under the post, and we have seen him do that so many times. A real danger, Mars, Brian Habana, when he doesn't have the ball.
If ever a moment proved how quickly you have to think at test match level, it was on for the Lions. O'Driscoll knew it, Habana knew it as well, and suddenly it might have been on for him. Fine lines.
Yeah, I wonder, watching the way he defends Ann Peterson, perhaps later on in the game, whether O'Driscoll might start thinking of just probing some balls behind Habana, just try and turn him. Bread of heaven in Pretoria. It's not quite Cardiff, but there's a Welsh atmosphere.
As ever, a big Welsh support behind the Lions. Andrew Sheridan has come on. Gethin Jenkins goes off, blood injury. Francois Steyn. Well, at altitude, this will not be a problem, or shouldn't be for distance. Look at it sailing on and on, but it's wide, and that's what really matters.
Well, you pay your money, you take a chance with Francois Steyn. He hits it miles. I saw him hit one from 60 metres, nearly through the top in the warm-up, and that one had so much distance, but not accurate. Now look at that. That is a real indicator of how well the Lions have played. 70% possession, it's 32 tackles made by the Boks to just 6 by the Lions. The Lions, while they're playing like this, need to keep that scoreboard moving away from South Africa.
As try scorer Peterson, caught by Fitzgerald. That represents a good charge upfield from Fitzgerald. That, of course, is not forward on for Jenkins. It's Andrew Sheridan. This is Joanne Smith. Pinar.
1 feet.
Ryan O'Driscoll tries to make the tackle and comes back for another.
Brilliant power from Spies.
Yeah, a bit of a power play there from South Africa. This giant back row now that Burger's alongside Smith and Spies. Jacobs to Francois Steyn. Peterson's outside. Opts for the boot. Carney will opt for his.
Oh, that's high.
The referee's given it. He's just checking where the ball went out.
It's ill discipline from Peterson because Carney was in a corner.
Could be another yellow card, this.
But I don't want anymore. Okay? You know what I mean. It's only a penalty because it's a reflex.
The reflex, says Christophe Berdos, must have been very close to the front of his mind, that yellow card.
Carney can't go anywhere. No, that's not a yellow card.
No.
When you see it live, you think it could be, but actually, it's a penalty because it's high and it's riding up above the shoulders. There's no malice there. It's a stupid penalty to give away because what it's done, again, it's given the Lions 40 metres and the ball. In South Africa, they've given a scrum away in the corner, they've given that penalty, and Stephen Jones is benefiting. I mean, another day, Miles, you don't even give that as a penalty.
Absolutely right. And so's the referee. I think it is a penalty, no more. Reach to O'Connell. Already with Stephen Jones. That represents good service then from Phillips. And it was David Wallace. Mike Phillips again. To say he's keeping the South Africans honest around the edge of the ruck is an understatement, really. Phillips, O'Driscoll, little nudge through. Habana had to avoid Francois Steyn, and then showing speed of foot, got his kick in. Now Rob Carney's having a look at the long drop goal here, and he won't want to look at the end result of the long drop goal.
Well, it's a Francois Steyn speciality, but Rob Carney shows that he can have a speculative go. Nothing wrong with the idea, but if you're going to go for it from that distance, you've got to strike it a bit better than that. But it's just about the first thing that's gone wrong for the Leinster man, and you can understand why he went for it, because he has been playing beautifully this game.
Just 4 series wins, of course, in South Africa and the Lions. A rarity of success in a series in this country. Brian Habana on David Wallace, but it's Mike Phillips again. Lovely presentation of the ball. Now Sheridan, who's been asked for more in the loose, and is giving more. Phillips back in position. Jones, O'Driscoll. This is going to be a tight spot to work through, or maybe bulldoze through. Jamie Roberts was the man. Now it's Paul O'Connell's turn. Phillips, Sheridan's got the taste for it. Is he being held? He is. Now he has to place it, and he doesn't. Just went on, penalty.
And Scott Burger again, he's risking it. He's just raising his hands towards Mike Phillips. Well, Andrew Sheridan's a couple of good leg-pumping drives. The penalty goes against the Lions there. definitely looking to make an impact on this one.
Man who didn't play in a test match on the 2005 tour.
Now, Jamie Roberts, we've seen him carry about 3-4 times. He's circled there. What he's trying to do now is bring people like David Wallace into the game, and he offloads the ball early. Watch this now there, before the tackle, trying to bring runners off his inside shoulder. And don't be surprised when the Lions bring him up to the line and then hit a big flat pass to either O'Driscoll, Faden or Carney.
Bismarck Duplessis throws. He was so in the zone for the battle last week. Hasn't been able to get into that area this week. That's not to say that he won't. Beast is wandering through there. Now he's back into the ruck, and this looks like a good old contest on the floor that the Lions have won. Phillips, maybe that was time to pass. Couldn't get round Smith. Fitzgerald, Foy Dupree was very close to offside, if not offside there. We're on Pinard. We're going into a critical phase of the game. Carney is going into every high ball and winning it. Here's O'Driscoll. It's a wondrous performance from the Lions full-back, and Brian O'Driscoll, exactly the man you would want then to take the ball downfield with the kick.
Boks go early. Here's the catch. South Africa on the counter though.
We're still with the replay pictures there, but Rampino was caught in possession, but no matter there for South Africa because they get the penalty. Pienaar was in trouble, he was isolated.
Yeah, the Lions just have to maintain their discipline at the moment. Their scrum has been better. They've had one problem with the driving maul. The discipline has been okay. They've taken a chance. They've kicked well tactically. All the areas where South Africa dominated last week, the Lions have really shored up, but they've just got to be careful about giving the penalties away. And I think at the moment, they've started so well, it's almost an excess of exuberance, isn't it?
Talking of which, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you enjoying this game of rugby? There's only one answer.
Well, nothing's perfect, but I'll give it 9.5 at the moment.
Thank you, Mr. Contrary.
I'll tell you when it gets perfect, Miles. Fingers crossed, mate.
Yeah, keep us in touch. Here's Foy Dupree to Berger, Pienaar. Now it's a Lions penalty, and they got across to that breakdown very well indeed. Just the right numbers.
And the Lions, through the numbers, are very important. They're quite positive at the breakdown. They're winning their share of penalties. And Stephen Jones's punting has been very good. I just felt once or twice in Durban it was a bit negative, but this time it's the siege gun. It's Rob Carney.
Gethin Jenkins back on after that little cameo, if you can call it that ever, from Andrew Sheridan.
He is playing one hell of a game.
He's lapping up the altitude.
Look at O'Driscoll's work there, and Peterson comes off his feet. He's taken O'Driscoll out. O'Driscoll does it brilliantly defensively. Now, one of the Lions got in attack. Is this the time? Send Roberts up the middle and just go wide to Fitzgerald and the Irish back three.
Go to the front and Shaw. Stephen Jones. That's a cut-out ball and a chance for a bit of space, but it doesn't work that time between O'Driscoll and Carney, and who's covering this? But Stephen Jones, and he's away from Francois Steyn. That's excellent from the fly half. And here he is again, selecting the right option again, but not quite the execution that he would have wanted. And Habana doesn't get the distance that he would have wanted, having called for the mark.
I'm surprised Brian Habana just didn't hit that one downfield and try and turn the Lions. Roberts was the decoy, but South Africa read that very well. He was a decoy used way too early. He didn't really lure any men in green, and that set Rob Carney up for a fall.
straight. There's a lot of movement to that line out from the Lions. Perhaps now Paul O'Connell will consider it a necessary movement. Still needs to be some calming down to be done out there.
Oh yeah, no, that's gone straight off the right hand of Matthew Rees. Wasn't accurate, but this does happen against South Africa. The line-out is so good, it does put pressure on hookers and jumpers. It forces errors. It's what quality teams do.
And that has been turned, that scrum. Oh, Berger's popped up from seemingly nowhere. Jean de Villiers, haven't really mentioned him yet. There goes Berger again. 50th cap. He will not want that to end in a sorry tale. Joanne Smith. Now he's 6'4" and approaching 17 stone. John Smith, the real power base of this side. The captain, another turnover. Now the Lions knew if they could sort the breakdown out, they'd have such a improved chance in the series. And it's starting to happen here. Jones, O'Driscoll, Fitzgerald. Oh, he caught that beautifully. Now inside, O'Driscoll. He slipped there too. Phillips, do the Lions have the numbers to the right? Probably not. They might have them to the left though. Here's Jones, Carney, Fitzgerald has another go. Stopped by the Beast and Stain. Phillips just before half-time. Phillips again, here comes Carney. Now they have the men right. David Wallace. That was strong from Wallace. Gethin Jenkins, standing start, nothing he could do from there.
Good pressure from Berger, made sure the Lions went nowhere that time.
You feel if the Lions could score from this, it could make such a difference.
I know they're very positive. It's slow ball, a drop goal would not be the worst option.
Exactly what you're going to say there. Any points from this. But they're going for more again. They have been so positive, sure. Well, they really are going for more. Look at this. Phillips, Wallace again. A couple of thunderous runs from him. You can see the post now. Here's Jones to Roberts. These tackles must be taking their toll as well on the South African fitness levels. Phillips, it is going back. Stephen Jones steadies himself. He's got them. He's got the 3 points. That's what it was all about.
Steady as you like, Stephen. The perfect option. The Lions getting into Springbok territory. They sniffed a try down the left corner where Fitzgerald is fizzing. Stephen Jones, who really has his hand on the controls here, just thinks it's just getting a bit slow. Don't force it, take 3 points. It's not a beautiful drop kick, but it's a beautiful 3 points.
And now it's very important as Habana launches himself into Tommy Bowe. And all the frustration there coming out in the challenge from Brian Habana. Plus the speed to get there in the first place. Stephen Jones. Coolness personified today for Pretoria. Can't say the South Africans definitely have to get something before half-time. Yes, again, it's Carney with the catch.
Astonishing take. It was an amazing take.
But it will make a massive difference, wouldn't it, if the Lions were to hold on to this lead before the interval. Knowing the Lions today, they're probably still looking to add to it. That was taken back into the 22. Roberts might rue that one.
Not made many errors. There was Tommy Bowe getting flattened, but eye on the ball. He and his fullback Rob Carney have been majestic under the high ball. Not too many errors the Lions have made. There's one. Well, the defence has to be good because while the Lions would love to go into half-time 16-5, 16-10, 16-12 changes everything.
Well, might change everything. but that's a free kick. Line-out has to be completed. Once the players join the line-out, they're part of it. Full stop. Can't come in and out then. And of course, numbers have to be even again now, the line-out.
To play the ball.
We flirted with the idea of uneven numbers. Didn't really work. Habana keeps it alive. Pretoria. Habana's off and running again. But Rob Kearney just cannot do anything wrong, it seems. I think just that one small error that he's made.
He owns the air.
He owns Loftus Versfeld at the moment. Fleury de Pretoria to Francois Steyn. That's clearly forward. The Lions might turn it over and look for something more worth a go. The Lions don't want the advantage. They want the scrum. They know that half-time now is literally around the corner.
Well, Rob Kearney's ability under the high ball has been fantastic for all the brilliance in their defence. When you've got a fullback who can take everything that's thrown at him at a ground like this, it settles everyone so much. And alongside him, his Irish partners, Tommy Bowe and Luke Fitzgerald, have looked so comfortable. We saw Habana hitting Bowe really hard, but Bowe didn't take his eye off the ball. And he has looked very dangerous, very composed. And Fitzgerald coming in on the left wing, extremely dangerous. It's a Welsh inside three where Phillips, Jones and Roberts have played their part, but with O'Driscoll and that back three outside him, the balance of the Lions' back play has been really good. But for me, the man who has summed up the Lions has been Rob Kearney, a rock in defence, and when he had his chance, he took it brilliantly.
Halfway line. It's been so much better for the Lions in the scrum. Not really been tested again in the rolling maul. That looked to be a problem in the opening minutes, just like it was last week, but in the scrum, a big tick.
And the South Africans haven't been in position to use the rolling maul. They haven't been playing in those parts of the field.
Sure. Phillips is giving the Lions backs a platform here. Jones round on that loop of his, but that's an obstruction called by Christophe Berdos. Now, was it really?
That's a very tight call. That is an extremely tight call. Roberts, as the big decoy, as the giant decoy, there he comes. Yeah, he runs into Jacobs. He's in front of the ball as it's passed. He is in front of the ball. He's therefore in an offside position of obstruction. And of course, against most teams, that's a kick to touch. Against South Africa, it's Frans Steyn at altitude. Now, if this goes over, the Lions are still going 8-16, thinking we're in control here. If it doesn't go over, they go in thinking 5-16, next score, we can break South Africa's morale. This is a moment when the Lions, if this kick doesn't go over, they can come out at the start of the second half and they can take this game away from the world champions.
The ball will travel. We're on the high belt, and he's got legs like oaks. It certainly did travel. It's a fine way for Steyn and South Africa to end the half, but the Lions will be very happy with not just the scoreline, but with their work and the chances created too. South Africa were meant to be 40 minutes away from clinching the series and therefore avoiding another dozen years of Lions heartache, but it's not panning out like that. It's 16-8, the Lions lead, and they're making us proud.
What a beauty.
Don't try and pick them off individually. Work together and you'll do this.
A brilliant half of rugby by the Lions. They've given themselves the best possible chance of levelling this series, but you can bet South Africa will come out firing. At the moment, though, Lions by 8 You can also go interactive. Just a reminder this afternoon, if you press the red button, and with that you can access highlights, archive and match stats as well. Let's hear from James Hook. He's pitch side with Graham Simmons.
James, I'm getting very excited. How's your pulse rate?
Oh, it's brilliant. The boys are getting really excited as well. It's a great start for us. Something we didn't do last week, and yeah, exciting second half now.
Is that the best 40 minutes the Lions have played on this tour, do you think?
Oh, it's got to be. We went to start with a bit of intensity, and certainly what we did. We got stuck into them straight away and scored some tries as well. The boys will probably be a little bit disappointed giving a soft try away in the first half there, but I'm sure we can carry on and get the win now.
Looking at the backs and the way they're working, they seem to be using Jamie Roberts as a decoy a little bit more. Have you worked on that this week?
Well, Jamie's such a threat. He's going to hold defenders all day long, so he's mixing up a bit, and they're doing well.
What would you like to see the Lions do in the second half, apart from go on and win, obviously, but tactically, what do you think the Lions should be looking to do?
Same as what they've been doing first half. They spot on, the kicking game's great, they're mixing things up, and yeah, it's going to be exciting now second half.
This is going to be a birthday you're never going to forget, isn't it? Because it is your birthday today, isn't it, if they hang on to win this?
Yeah, it is, yeah, so a win today would be nice.
21 again. Well done, James. Thank you very much. Good boy.
Teams on the way out then. That is the question. Can the Lions keep it up? Let's hope so. 40 minutes away from levelling it. Let's get back to Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
I don't know about you, I needed half-time too, and we're only talking. If the Lions lose this from here, Stuart, this test match, coupled with what happened last week, and you do have to say this kind of thing, what a wasted opportunity it would be.
Yes, it would be. It would remind me rather of 2001 when they were so brilliant in Brisbane in the Aussie series and had the Aussies on the rack at half-time in Melbourne and let it go. They've got the Springboks in the same situation. Keep playing sound, sane rugby, the chances will come. I think the issue here in the second half, Springboks made so many tackles. If the Lions can keep the intensity and pace up, can even the box defence hold on? And in the last 20, will holes open up today as they did open up in Durban? It's a question mark, and I don't know whether South Africa have the answer to it.
Well, we're about to find out. No changes made by either side at half-time. At a sold-out Loftus Versfeld here in Pretoria. The scene of the second test in this three-match series. Can the Lions get to Johannesburg and Ellis Park at one apiece and create a memorable finale? All set then. And it's the boot of Ruan Pienaar. And it's the old man Simon Shaw, 36 in September. Spies, Pretoria, both balls of course. Francois Steyn, Rob Carney, that came off his boot I think, yes it did. Stephen Jones angled that away from Spies. And Berger was there too, and the more you see the Scott Berger incident, the more you feel the sighting commissioner will be heavily involved. Here's Carney again. And Will was right at half-time, a commanding first half performance from Carney. No other word for it. Pienaar with that kick. Carney was never going to drop that one, having taken so many difficult kicks, and then on the swivel. Look what he's done. Well, he's a star anyway, but a Lion star is born today in Rob Carney.
He was so impressive off the bench. It's hard coming off the bench in a test match and playing with the command that he did, but this is amazing. I mean, we've seen the try, we've seen the aerial command, and the vision there, and always the technique. The South Africans, I must say, always thought that he would be the pick for the first test and not Lee Byrne, which surprised a few of us, but it looks like there's an awful lot of South Africans who've got that right now. Can the Lions compete here?
Well, they give for a steal here, and they're going to contest. Well, O'Connell was trying to get there, but it was well worked by South Africa, but then Berger stopped. Heaslip's tackling's been excellent. His all-round play has been excellent. He came stronger and stronger into the game, didn't he, last week? Certainly the Lions did with that powerful finish. Tommy Bowe, he's there for the tackle on Pretoria. He can't play it on the wrong side. He must roll away, which he does.
Pretoria doesn't miss many high balls, does he?
Bismarck Duplessis acts as the number 9, the hooker, and away by Eddie Jacobs. And that's taken a good bounce for South Africa, and it's still going off this firm surface. Luke Fitzgerald going one up on his dad today. He played for the Lions back in '86, but not on tour. Des, of course, his father. Here's Matt Field. Pienaar might be on here for South Africa. The crowd certainly feel that it is. Jacobs travelling. Had the potent Peterson outside. But once again, the Lions have got stuck into the breakdown. The South African fans all around us here can't believe it. That just doesn't happen to their team, and not on this ground either. Steyn, Habana.
Oh, that's what you want, Brian O'Driscoll. Levelled him.
The Beast. The pick and drive here from South Africa. I mean business here. That was always going to be the case. Croft gets across.
Lions are like Gethin Jenkins at the moment.
Well, he was involved in that double tackle with O'Driscoll. And it may have taken its toll on him. Andrew Sharon, of course, already has appeared in this match. Gethin Jenkins went off for a blood injury in the first half. Here's Habana. And now it's David Wallace and Jamie Roberts. Double ganging at the tackle, the Lions. Once more they do that on Juan Smith. John Smith a little bit laboured as he took that ball. A man who's leading his country for the 57th time today. Berger, no gain line success for him. Through goes Phillips, ball was out. Pushing away Dupree. South Africa keep coming back for more, but they keep losing the ball. It's off the floor from Adam Jones to Croft. Now Simon Shaw. And you could see the determination there on Shaw's face. Lions still playing with 14 here.
A lot of space.
Found by Jones.
He's outside his 22 there, but I don't think the top shed saw it.
Well, if he was, then it's certainly not been given. Peter de Villiers takes a swig of something to keep the mouth from going dry at altitude, but dry with one or two nerves maybe. There's a rather sorry sight. Gethin Jenkins being helped off the field. He really has been in the walls today. So Andrew Sheridan is back.
It's a clear collision, wasn't it? Habana and O'Driscoll combined, and that's what led to it. You know, we talked about Pienaar and how he was so unflustered last week, and the Lions couldn't get to him. But today, look how deep he is on quick ball, and sure, the Lions can't get to him, but he's doing absolutely nothing for his backmen outside. They are so deep. The Lions are just shuffling across without any pressure. Net result, you've got a world-class left wing like Brian Habana, and he's got 2 or 3 men coming onto him. Pienaar right now is not challenging the gain line, and if he doesn't do that, then it'll only be via a kicking game that the Boks will get back into this.
Adam Jones wants some treatment. Brian O'Driscoll is also getting a little bit of treatment. That tackle that O'Driscoll and Jenkins made may have caused more damage than good.
Dowie.
Yes, mate.
8 years is a long time, especially when we got memories like yours and mine. But how similar does this feel to Brisbane to you?
Incredibly similar. I had it written down, actually, Stu, then. I remember the try by O'Driscoll just after half-time. If the Lions could get that score, it would really make the Springboks think. But I've got to give it total admiration. The likes of Roundtree have turned this pack around. The scrum has gone from strength to strength. The line is okay, but the sheer physical aspect that these guys have taken into this game, they've met fire with fire, and that's exactly what the Lions wanted to do.
And now, as you can see, Adam Jones is going off, so the Lions have lost both prop forwards and Sheridan the only specialist on, so that means we'll probably go to uncontested scrums now. Alan Wynne-Jones comes on, of course, great ability around the field, Alan Wynne-Jones, but he ain't no prop forward.
Well, you and I, we were laughing in the week saying, well, Sheridan's had a back injury. If he comes off the bench and he goes off injured, it would suit the Lions. But frankly, after 45 minutes, you've got a feel for the Lions where they have scrummaged with solidity and an edge when they need it. And I must say, on his test starting debut, I think Adam Jones has had a fine 45 minutes, and the Lions will probably be thinking it's a blow that we're not scrummaging. They've gone that well.
There's no way that the Lions would have wanted to lose Jenkins and Jones the way the scrummage was going in this match. They were getting a clear advantage, and it was helping their backs and worrying South Africa in every way. Here's Phillips. Of course, it has implications for next week as well, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The loss of Jenkins and Jones, who have been going so well. Here's Phillips short to David Wallace.
He's played well, Wallace, very strong carrying.
Jones. O'Driscoll's still fit to go on. His 6th Lions test match today, just the one win. The Lions' last win back in Brisbane, the game you were talking about with Dowie in 2001. Here's Jamie Roberts. They've seen him coming a little bit more this week, so they should have done, the South Africans. Alan Wynne-Jones, who started a week ago. Stolen by the box this time, charged down from Peterson. Now Shaw's going to be offside, but that was touched by Steyn. But he hadn't retreated.
No attempt to retreat at all there, he just advanced on the man. Now there's an interesting battle. A smiling backies and a usually reticent Andrew Sheridan, but I think he's got a battle on his mind.
Well, Bakkies Botha is a former South African schools captain, which always makes you smile. You wouldn't argue with him on the field or in the classroom. Maybe even the teachers wouldn't argue with Bakkies Botha when he was young. Avoid that glare, but it seems the Lions want to take on that glare today.
Sheridan with the charge down. Now the criticism of him this tour is he hasn't done enough outside the scrum. Gethin Jenkins and Adam Jones have done brilliantly in the loose. Sheridan, though, when he's been on today, has carried well, but he has got a buster gut. He's got a burn to hit those breakdowns in the next 30 minutes.
Berger, it's a good handoff. And that's a high tackle from Matthew Rees, deemed by Christophe Berdos. And a little pull back on Fouille de Prieur, actually, but it's the original offence from Matthew Rees.
Frankly, it could have been a bloody check on Fouille de Prieur as well.
Yeah.
Simon Shaw misses Berger there. Matthew Rees, yeah, you see he gets the right forearm around Berger and he throws him to the ground. There it is. And that is not a tackle, that is a penalty. And Ruan Pienaar steps up. It's at altitude, it's probably about 45 metres, but Chandler Leeburn last week, he thinks that balls travel 12 to 15 metres further. So this makes it a fairly comfortable kick in terms of distance, but the pressure is on Ruan Pienaar.
Pretty clear what Jenkins' injury was, the cut. For Adam Jones, we're hearing that he's got a shoulder injury. And here's Ruan Pienaar. In the 97 series, it was South Africa's Achilles heel, the goal kicking. Signs last week that it could be a strength in this series, but it's not a strength there, as Ruan Pienaar misses with what was a very important kick in the context of the match. Of course, they all are. Every point garnered today really matters, but it might have just changed the momentum that scored.
Yeah, well, it gets South Africa within a try of being level, a converted try of leading. need to start going forward again, the Lions. The disruption, I think, of the two props will have hurt.
Pretoria, Pienaar to Smith. Look at that beautiful ball presentation there from Smith. Now, is there a hand in from Tommy Bono? Not enough. Stayed up very well in that drive, South Africa. There's Smith. Pretoria to Pienaar. Steyn. Peterson, lot to do from there, but he loses Fitzgerald on the inside. Starting to become a promising spell for South Africa, but Jacobs with a little bit of butterfingers, but no advantage.
Luke Fitzgerald just forcing Peterson on the inside. No problem there, it looked good. There's the knock-on, but if Peterson and Abana are being forced inside all the time, that suits the Lions. They don't want the racing on the wides. Stephen Jones down now, they need him up because he has marshalled this game beautifully today. He's having one of those days. I remember when Wales won their Grand Slam and they beat France away, he was in that mood. Sean Edwards, he wasn't with Wales then, he's with the Lions now.
You made the point about Jenkins and Jones, the loss of being a disruption to the team, and not just because of the way the Lions were going at the scrum, but in the loose, immense those two today.
Well, that's when Gethin Jenkins got injured, double tackling with Brian O'Driscoll, and he did it all day, and Adam Jones was hitting ruts and mauls. And Andy Sheridan and Backy's brought
One bike? I don't know, what do you do? Come down, please, both. No more. Oh, okay. Okay, the both. I don't want who start and who, okay?
I think that's an assistant referee report from what happened earlier, that set to between Botha and Sheridan. I don't think it's going to go away.
I would rather hope not. It's a second test in Pretoria, and the Lions are marching on it. We want some edge, we want Sheridan up for this one.
A rather unsatisfactory sight of an uncontested scrum. We'll have to live with it for the rest of this match. Half an hour left. Steyn with the mark. Goes for big distance. Reasonable, but he can do better than that. And that's because he is so good.
Still not a bad kick in South Africa. I think they're just going to start thinking, do we fall back to Fourie du Preez, put in high balls down the channels? Does Victor Matfield and Backy's Botha and Smith contest the line out? Stephen Jones said in the week, I think they'll do what they did in the test, which is play it tight and drive the line out. It's what they do well. Oh.
It's what Croft does well at the line out. Stephen Jones, now that suddenly becomes a bit of a 50-50, but Brian Habban has dropped the ball. And some crossing there. It's coming through offside.
Now Pienaar needs to kick this one. Highly talented player, beautifully in the first test, but in the context of this match, then this is a pressure kick, having just missed one. No, is that Jamie Roberts?
Well, there's Alan Wynne-Jones, who was told to move away, was in front of the kicker. That's the reason for the decision. And these moments where discipline is lost, you feel might just be punished now. Pienaar is not that far out, not on this ground. He is in front, but he's missed again. The 97 Achilles heel is back.
Second test, Percy Montgomery. Henry Honourable couldn't handle the pressure. Ruan Pienaar, a player of great talent. Can you handle it? Because it's coming on now.
Of course, now Percy Montgomery is the kicking coach with South Africa, and he won't have liked that. Alan Wynne-Jones makes amends and makes the tackle on Pierre Spies. And the Lions will get the put into this scrum.
Miles, 6 points have gone begging. 2 points in it, it's very tight. Do South Africa, does Peter de Villiers make the call now and take off his dream fly half and get on the local hero, Mornay Steyn, who does not miss kicks like that, who does not miss them. It's a big call.
And he also has in his armoury, Mornay Steyn, the drop goal 4 here in that classic semi-final of the Super 14 against the Crusaders. You can argue that was the match of the season. If the Lions win this, comes with a little bit of bias, this might be the new match of the season. But Steyn is more reliable with the drop goal than his namesake Francois Steyn, although Francois Steyn loves to go for them from distance and therefore misses a lot because they're a long way out. And as you say, off the kicking tee, wonderfully reliable too.
He's the best they got, and also, he's a blue ball. He plays alongside Fourie de Priya, and if South Africa are getting nervous and they're tightening up and they're trying to win the game by closing it down and putting pressure and gaining territory, he is your natural man to go to. But Peter de Villiers is something of a dreamer, something of a romantic, and I think the Pienaar stays on.
Stephen Jones to Brian O'Driscoll, and he carved his way through there. Jamie Roberts, no, he did that down a very similar channel last week and it led to a try. That time South Africa had the defenders, then it was Sheridan. Now it's Phillips, stays tight with O'Connell. Phillips again needs to get this ball into midfield and does. Tommy Bowe right in midfield. That breaks down. Chance for Ntawira to kick on, doesn't. And now, after errors from both sides, the whistle will go.
There's no doubt at all the second half, the shape and the flow of the game has gone. I think the injuries have had something to do with it. I think there's a bit of tightening as well. Jean de Villiers struggling now. He was stomped there by Jamie Roberts. Roberts was in a Gulliver mode.
And listen to the roar, because that man you were talking about is stripping off Mornay Steyn. Such a hero here. Jacques Fourie is about to come on as well. 21 and 22, the two backs on the bench. Remember, South Africa going for a 5-2 forward-back split. Asking Pienaar to cover scrum half. January out of the squad. Radapele in his reserve hooker.
Well, I was sort of hoping that Pienaar would stay on for 10 minutes more.
That's Spies. He's a big hero here as well, and we haven't seen him get away in this Test series yet. We nearly did there. Pienaar, Jean de Villiers, Jacobs, Habana, that's a great line. Oh, he was skipping away there. That was a very important tackle from Phillips. It really was, just knocked him off his stride, Brian Habana.
Well, everyone's oohing and ahhing Habana, but Pierre Spies created that because he blistered his way past Tom Croft and he stretched the Lions' defence, and from the quick ball, South Africa looked so dangerous. Fourie on, he should have been started, he's a form player. Jean de Villiers looks a little bit groggy, he's off.
Hasn't looked at his best in this series, Jean de Villiers. Of course, returning, like so many of the South Africans, after injury. Talked about Brian O'Driscoll carving an attack. Well, he's a real sculptor too, isn't he, Jean de Villiers, when he's on form. But he's replaced now. But Habana nearly away here.
Nice play from Jacob, steps aside. And Mike Phillips, you're quite right, it's not a full tackle, but he does what he has to do and just stops the man. But that was Pierre Spies at his most dangerous.
Fourie is on and he's trying to get into this attack. The Lions, for whatever reason, and there are probably plenty, it's another knock on. I've just stopped playing a little bit. Keep going back to that point about the props, but they can't afford to dwell on that out there. Percy Montgomery looks as anxious as every South African supporter as the time starts to tick here.
Yeah, still plenty of time for South Africa. Lions' problem now, South Africa are starting to get their hands on their ball, and I wouldn't say they're that fluent. Movement isn't fluid, but they're keeping the ball now, and it's forcing the Lions to defend and play from deeper.
Lions Lions calling for the offside. Probably heard that on the referee's microphone. They don't get it. Here's Francois Steyn. And here comes Carney again in the bread basket that is Rob Carney today. Pienaar. Fitzgerald will think about taking this quickly and does. It's the right call. Malcolm Phillips follow up with a kick. That's somewhere decent. Steyn. Spies. Listen to the crowd again. At the moment, their favourite bull is in a cage. A Lions cage. Here's Peterson. That's a good step to lose Croft, and O'Connell worked very hard to get back there. Excellent from the captain. Jacobs coming more and more into it, Adi Jacobs.
Problem also now, the Lions are kicking a fair bit of ball away. They're looking to play territory, but it's giving South Africa an opportunity to build a little bit of momentum and a few waves of attack. They certainly don't look as if they're tiring at the moment as Percy Montgomery looks on. I think the Lions, if they hang on to this one defensively, it'll be a bit of a surprise. I think they've got to come away and get some more points yet. You sense just a gradual intensification from South Africa.
There's Rees, who can get with him. You could hear that flick off Fourie du Preez, the kick from Phillips. Fitzgerald was barged off the ball there. It's the knock on the decision. It could have been a case for a penalty, but one of those you'd need to see again.
And you need to be a Lions supporter there. It's very tiring. Two guys went for the ball there. Becker on, Danny Rousseau on. It's power all the way. Juan Smith is off, and Bakkies Botha. I can see why Bakkies Botha is coming off, because he was reaching volcanic proportions. But Juan Smith has had a good game, I think. So maybe just a little bit heavier in the carry.
Much stronger than last week, where we noticed after an hour that he was holding on to the scrum, looking like you and I having gone up 10 flights of stairs. Here's Jones. Actually 5 flights of stairs, if I'm going to be honest. Croft. Lions will want to see more and more of Croft with ball in hand in instances like these. Here's Phillips.
He carried well too, Mike Phillips. He's been a constant worry for the Springboks. Oh, penalty.
They've worked really hard for that penalty, the Lions. A lot of defence over the last 10 minutes or so. Don't reverse it.
Now, in the first 10 minutes or so, when the Lions felt they had the advantage with Berger in the bin, Jones went to the corner this time. 16-8, Stephen Jones has to nail this. Oh, the captain of all people. It's what pressure does to you. Now, Thursday night I was with one of the great Welsh fly halves of all time, Phil Bennett. We were talking about this game. It was fingers crossed. Stephen Jones, if he kicks this one, he starts to add his name towards the illustrious list of great Llanelli fly halves winning Test match. He's played in an understated but superb way.
The history books beckon, and he knows it, and he's trying to drill it, and he has drilled it straight through. Stephen Jones. It's been all-out attack from the Lions, although they've been forced into some defence of late, but they've come out of that defensive period with 3 more vital points. Right. Pienaar's off, Mornay Steyn's on. The crowd have got what they want in terms of the substitution, but not with the scoreline. The South African supporters, that is.
Shaw is so strong beneath the kickoff.
Final quarter of the match, Spies. Some point he's going to explode. Has to. He's Pierre Spies.
Oh, Driscoll.
Brian O'Driscoll on
Penalty.
Darnie Rousseau. Here's Francois Steyn.
He's not given a penalty out. Well, O'Driscoll levelled Darnie Rousseau there. I thought Christophe Burdos said immediately advantage. Was he saying a knock-on from O'Driscoll? He must have been.
He was, and then advantage called over. Both players have been hurt. I'm not sure about the legality of the challenge.
Well, let's just watch now. Does O'Driscoll get two arms around him? No, he does not, but it's Darnie Rousseau. He levels him. Look at that. You never want to see that. You never want to see that. But that is the sort of hit from one of your players that lifts players. That's brilliant play from O'Driscoll.
Dowie, what about the intensity of the match? We saw there what, you know, on replay looks like an illegal challenge from Brian O'Driscoll, but your pitch side, you know, what do the challenges feel like from that position you're in?
I've got the best seat in the house, Matt. I'm very privileged to be down here. It's 20 minutes from winning a test match to even a test series up. You can see Brousseau there just trying to come on the pitch. That's the commitment we needed from Brian O'Driscoll. Legal or not legal, they're out there. They're actually just playing their hearts out. They're going to hold on now for another 19 minutes, and I think they can do that. I think with the depowering of the scrub, I think they're in the box seat at the moment.
But also, you know, we must be fair in these matters, and Brian O'Driscoll's challenge, Stuart.
No, it should have been a penalty. I don't have any doubt about that. I mean, I think most people in Britain and Ireland know who we'd like to win, but that doesn't mean that was not a penalty there. And that was a dangerous challenge from O'Driscoll, and there have been times when you have seen that carded.
And it was nearly a very serious challenge. Still might be for Darnie Rousseau, just the way he is tottering around.
But I would say, Miles, this is a test match in Pretoria. This is not a time to worry about, is this technically right? It's a time to just try and make the hit that makes the difference. And when you've got a bolt like Darnie Rousseau down and O'Driscoll's back on his feet bouncing around, that makes a difference. It's not quite the Scott Gibbs, Os Durant moment, but that is leadership of a different kind from a very fine player. Tough on Rousseau, though.
And it's not in the Burger League,
no,
what he was doing earlier in the match. And the referee himself had a very good view of it. Here goes Heinrich Rousseau on for Darnie Rousseau. Try last week when it was all looking so rosy for the home team. That rolling more. And it seemed that the Lions not just slipping out of the match, but out of the series. Seemed to be no way back, considering the psychological damage that was being inflicted. But they found the way back.
I'm loving Andrew Sheridan here.
Call is not straight.
What's Sheridan now? Sheridan's power. Oh, Becker, get out of the way. He picks him up. He carries him back and he doesn't dump him. And then he smiles. Keep your discipline. More danger, though. The attacking scrum for South Africa.
Spies to Priya. Oh, Habana been sliced open before, and the Lions have been sliced open again. This time by the other wing, Brian Habana. That was world class. It really was. And there we saw in that attack the trust that exists within this team, built over a long period of time. They weren't panicking, and they're right back in it.
Well, that's a great try, because the Lions pack shouldn't be pressed by anything. Is there a block here from Fourie that sets it up for Habana? I'd like to see it again. But again, the scrum up is running the line. There's decoy runs. There is a block. I don't actually think he takes anyone out. For South Africa, they are back in this game.
And Steyn converts. Get the aerial view of it now. And when Habana's flying like that, nobody's going to stop him in World Rugby. Simple as that.
So quick, such pace, Brian Habana. The Springbok wings have lifted them, and O'Driscoll's in trouble. He's not, he's up, he's going.
Well, he has to, because Jamie Roberts is back on his own try line getting treatment. The South Africans might have a look at this. They've got O'Driscoll moving out to the wing, not feeling too great, and Roberts down on his haunches getting treatment. Stewart.
Jack Faree, watch this now. He runs the line to hold the defence, and all that does, it opens it for O'Driscoll. He doesn't need long, he's so quick. Just to check for a second, nobody is balked. It opens up half a metre. The electric pace of Brian Habana off the left wing lacerates the lines. It's a wonderfully worked try.
Roberts is okay, O'Driscoll isn't. Brian O'Driscoll's gone off. Shane Williams comes on.
What a 15 minutes we have left now. The momentum swings. The Lions have the points. The Boks, they're going to believe now.
Tommy Bowe goes into centre. Williams to the wing. Roberts is standing outside centre. Bowe inside centre. The Lions having to rejig in this second half. Being disrupted now all over the field in forward and back positions. And there's only 4 points between the teams now. Carney needs to get out of this. Berger came swinging in there. Staines going to get another penalty opportunity.
The banner's going wild out wide.
It's a different match, it's a different stadium, and it's South Africa wanting more than 3 points. Even though they're trailing, they feel that this is their time in this match, but they've lost the ball.
Ooh.
Phillips, Jones steps away from Steyn. Stephen Jones. Phillips screaming at the referee, perhaps more in hope than anything else, but he gets his wish.
Fortune favoured the brave there. Stephen Jones, I mean, he could have cleared the lines and needed to. Percy Montgomery, he must be thinking, 19-15, why did we take the quick tap and go? I know South Africa feel that they've got the upper hand now, but they should have got to 19-18. Mornay Steyn on 1 point on it. Now the Lions are still a penalty plus in front. That was a significant decision.
Stephen Jones has missed his touch. That could really hurt. Francois Steyn and Jamie Roberts back on his feet as well. That was a fine take. Christophe Burdos looks, and there's another penalty. That whistle is going constantly now, and cheers from men and women in green, and then men and women in red. That time it's the green.
Paul O'Connell said, you've got to dig deep when the burn comes on. It's coming on early now. South Africa are applying the pressure. The Lions thought the altitude would hurt in the last 10, but South Africa are coming hard the last 20. It's not a carbon copy of last week, but the better team for an hour are suddenly being hammered onto the back foot. Jamie Roberts is now coming off. The Lions are in disarray with injuries. This is now a rear guard.
The centre pairing that has gone so well on this tour, Roberts and O'Driscoll off. The props have gone so well today and on the tour too, but particularly today, Jenkins and Jones, they've gone. Here's Mornay Steyn, who's now on. Listen to the roar if this goes over. It's a nonchalant kick. Oh, it's a test match, Mornay. It's hanging in the balance, and he does that.
Well, I was amazed that he didn't start just because of that in this series. Martin Williams comes on now. This is not an injury. David Wallace has played very well, but Williams has got a snaffle, and he's got to do it legally. The Lions now have got to defend for their lives because South Africa are coming at them, and the Lions are dropping, and they're dropping like flies.
Ronan O'Gara now on the field, of course.
A break for the Lions. Accidental offside. Now Stephen Jones will have to go into centre because I don't think the Lions will want to expose Ronan O'Gara to that channel. Unbelievable. a centre at outside centre, a wing at inside centre. Bow to crash up.
Here's Phillips. Bow does crash up.
Drop a goal.
Phillips again. Out came Berger. He was offside. Referee's seen it. He's a mile offside. It's right in front. It's 3 points surely. Nothing's guaranteed, but surely from there.
Well, Scott Berger from the first minute has not looked his usual self. He hasn't hit with the same intensity. He was lucky to be on the pitch, and he's now heard his South African teammates with a crazy charge there, headless stuff. Lions don't go for the drop. There he comes, miles offside there. He couldn't have made it easier for Burdos. Now Stephen Jones. Don't undo all that brilliant pressure kicking.
With Ronan O'Gara on the field. But Jones has done it impeccably so far. No reason to suggest that he won't do that again. And he doesn't, so 3 points, which creates a 4-point breathing space, gasping space.
That's so important now in this game. We know there's the danger that South Africa could win it with a piece of pace from Habana, but the Lions are forcing them to do something magic here with that kick. Oh, sure, he has been a rock.
Every time. I thought we'd left Table Mountain behind, but Simon Shaw has been brilliant in those restarts. There have been plenty of restarts today. Fantastic game of rugby. Had a little bit of a lull, but the players are entitled to that spell. And now the ferocity of the Lions at the breakdown. Just haven't seen it until now. And it makes such a change.
How quick they're off their feet there to help Shaw. Really good rucking.
Such a positive change for the team.
It's brilliant. Turnover there, Brousseau.
Heinrich Brousseau, de Prier. Habana's waiting again. Shane Williams watches him go inside, and so too does Tommy Bowe. Stephen Jones has the ball now. Foy de Prier needs to be cleared off it by Shane Williams. Hand off by Simon Shaw. Well, the gloves are off now.
Did someone tell Simon Shaw that he's played his best rugby on this tour coming off the bench as an impact sub? He's getting better and better. Gloves away, well gone now. This is bare knuckle stuff. Heinrich Brousseau, that was such an important turnover for South Africa. The Lions had initially driven over Shaw as Peter de Villiers looked on, and his open side came up with a brilliant play. Brilliant play that suggests he should have been on from the start instead of Berger. Look at this, number 20. Oh, he's so good at that. He's so compact and strong.
Brousseau. Both sides have created a test match. Great credit to the sport, but the Lions don't want any credit to rugby here. They want a credit to them at one apiece. Can they do it? It's going to come again, and here it comes right now with Habana and Bowe. De Prier. Mornay Steyn. There's Andries Becker helping the drive. At least South Africa keep on to that.
Penalty, Shaw high.
And then that comfort buffer has gone if this goes over. Oh, Christophe Burdos, what is he considering here? There's a twitch there towards the pocket. His assistant, Bryce Lawrence, is in.
Yeah. I think it's just a penalty. Just a penalty, the same. Yeah, just a talk. But it, you know, different or high. But number 4 is too high. Too high. You know what I mean.
That was a tired tackle from a big man. It was no more than that, and it is a penalty. Oh, going for the corner. off the right foot, and that's a good kick. There you can see it's a penalty. Not even need for talk, just give the penalty. Big kick there, big line out, Matfield now.
That's a good kick. That is a confident player. Second test.
Miles,
Will they stay?
do the Lions now compete against Matfield? Do they stay low to stop the drive that hurt them last week?
Matfield wins it, nearly loose and into Lions' hands. And there's the word that plagued us last week, nearly. Fourie. Dupree. Spies again. Through O'Gara there, might have been hurt by that run, and O'Gara. Everybody needs to get back on their feet though. Six and a half minutes. That's all there is. And the man on the far side. It's Fourie, he's got power. Oh, has he got it down if he has? It could be a history-making finish. Shark Fourie. They are the world champions. And don't the Lions know it here?
Stuart.
Yes, Christophe.
Can you hear me?
The Lions just look tired there. The buffeting now from South Africa taking its toll. O'Gara was struggling. To the eye, it looked like a score. You could see O'Gara, he wasn't in the move. It gave them the extra man. The first tackle didn't make it. Bo comes in now. Oh, hang on. It's very hard to say there. And that angle, it's a score, but it's a reverse. It's this angle now, the foot.
This angle will tell us.
Touch, touch, no try.
And suddenly, the cheers start to die down. No, we need to see the other one. It's clearly placed. No, this isn't the one, is it?
Where's the reverse angle?
It's the reverse we need to see again.
There is no, it's a brilliant finish by Fourie. It's fabulous. But it's the right foot, and it skirts and it touches, and I don't see why we're seeing that one, because that is a try from the ball perspective, but it's the right foot. It's Izzy in touch before he gets it down. The placement is perfect, couldn't be better. And this isn't the one either. We've seen the one.
We need to go back to the one that looks down the line. I mean, this is just going to show us Jacques Fourie scoring time and time again. Now,
right, watch the sole of his boot. He's not in yet. The first step.
That boot is Brosseau's. That boot is Brosseau's. I'm seeing no Fourie boot there.
Touch, judge, so hard. Now, right, his right foot's okay there. His left foot, now it's, you see, you can't see from,
So what was the question? Any reason why I can't award the try, therefore?
Christophe, I have a decision for
It's going to be a try.
You may award a try.
I can may award.
Yes, you may award a try.
And you are going to hear the biggest roar.
If the foot in touch is die, can you check?
Bryce Lawrence,
the touch judge, Bryce
number
Lawrence.
20 Blue,
who is not the ball carrier, his foot goes into touch.
Bryce
there is
Lawrence.
no clear evidence of the player carrying the ball with the foot going into touch.
The television match official is Stuart Dickinson.
You may
Remember
award
him
a
from
try.
the World
Blue
Cup
boot is
final.
number 20 Blue, who is not the ball carrier.
Yeah, okay, great.
And he was right then, and I think he's right again here.
Well, Bryce Lawrence was doubtful, but Stuart Dickinson had a job to do. He spent a long time looking at it, he's given it. The Lions will feel that maybe they should have made the hit on Fourie earlier, but it's just raw power from South Africa. They have kept coming at the Lions, and you combine that with a loss of shape for the Lions, and it's given the world champions this lead. But this is a massive kick. The Lions could win from 1 point down.
And it's a massive kick that is swinging back over. 3 points to draw. That's what it's come down to now. What a finish from Furee.
Finish it, but this isn't good enough from the Lions. Ronan O'Gara's the man. He's been injured, he can't make the tackle, and then Furee just rolls for the line. A great finish from the centre.
So was it always destined to be South Africa's series? Outside the 22, but it's not going into touch. The Lions have 5 minutes to save this. Shane Williams, what a tackle again. Thundering in. Jones, O'Gara, Rees, Phillips, O'Gara again, Stephen Jones again, caught by Andries Becker. Advantage being played here to the Lions, and that is such a tricky decision now when you have to think about the series result, let alone the match result.
Well, the first thing you do is the match. You don't worry about the series. A draw keeps the Lions in with a chance of saving it. It'll tell you all about the mindset now. Stephen Jones has kicked beautifully. That's a great tackle by Brosseau, who has been superb since he's come on. But it is a long way out. It's a very difficult kick. Ronan O'Gara has been smashed the moment he came on, but he wants some responsibility.
Paul O'Connell decides to go for the uprights.
And Stephen Jones says, over to me. Jones has played so well. There's Becker with the high tackle. And rather like the Shaw one, there was not too much in it, but it was a penalty. And Burdos has been very accurate and sharp on those today.
And that's why the conversion from Steyn was so important. What a contribution from Morné Steyn since he came on.
He was the man I feared before this tournament started at 10. Here's the man South Africa fears now, the almost immaculate Stephen Jones.
Here's the Lions man, Stephen Jones. It's going to be level!
Stephen Jones has played a glorious game here. Sean Edwards can't look. And the Lions still have 2 minutes to get this ball from the restart and get upfield. They still have a chance to win it. Neil Jenkins hugs him. What a kick, Jones.
Jenkins, like Montgomery, the kicking coach, having been such a part of 97, those two. When it went Jenkins' way. What about this series? 12 years on, still in the balance. What a test match, epic. Phillips. Dupree away from Fitzgerald. Oh, what a dart that is. And there's those feline qualities again. Furee at the breakdown, and Berger, who's been like a man possessed all day. On the wrong side of the line, really, if truth be told. Here's Francois Steyn. That's a great break. Jacobs! Look at her banner again. Springboks get it back somehow. Morné Steyn wanted to go right, he just couldn't do it. Lions mustn't give a penalty away here.
Steyn, drop goal.
Francois Steyn, that is. He's dropped back, he's the king of the long drop goals. It will be the perfect end for him.
But Morné Steyn's in position and he is the master.
They are both waiting, they are jostling for immortality, the two of them.
They're working it for the fly half Morné, aren't they? He's the right option, and Furee Dupree knows it.
As we approach the final minute, well, Francois Steyn has left his post. He's becoming an extra forward now. They're working it back for Morné Steyn on his home ground. It's going to be nowhere near.
Counter-attack, Carney.
Rob Carney, he is going on the counter-attack. And then as he runs out of support, just Fitzgerald outside, he kicks long. Staying away.
What a kick.
What a match. O'Gara. His bandage reflecting the injuries that the Lions have suffered in this match. Oh, it's a penalty! Why?
O'Gara's taking his man out in the air.
Oh no, the decision is for taking the man out of the air. Why do it?
Because that's what Test match rugby does to you. It's a hot 25-all, and O'Gara's thinking, we've got to get this ball back to win it. And he just catches Fourie de Priya, who rolls over. You know, he's just glanced him. And that gives Mornay Steyn a chance. 54 metres, and at 54 metres in Pretoria, that is probably 45 metres elsewhere. But for those of you who have seen Steyn kick, week after week for the Bulls he does it, and he's come off the bench today and kicked beautifully. This for 2-0 and the series.
They said South Africa the world champions, and don't the Lions know it when they scored the try, but quite frankly don't South Africa know it too. What confidence typified by this young man. Is he about to write his name into the rugby history books? He most certainly is. And that's it. It's official. The wait is over for South African rugby. The Rainbow Nation has found its missing pot of gold. The World Cup secure. The Lions series win was the missing link, but no longer. No longer.
Well, the Lions dented South Africa for 50 minutes, but the Springboks came back superbly. They weren't at their most fluent, they weren't at their best, but the sheer will of South African rugby to win, allied with the unerring nerve of their replacement fly half from the Blue Bulls, saw them home. The Lions will think this was the one that got away. The Lions will think the 2 injuries to their centres, the 2 injuries to their props broke their shape. But rugby's about 22 men, not 15 men, and South Africa never stopped. Peterson and Abana gave them the cutting edge when they needed to keep them afloat, and the Lions, probably the better team for so much of the game, end up losing 2-0 because the goal kicker came on when Pienaar couldn't kick it. That man, Mornay Steyn, could. Desolation for the Lions. They were heroic in so many ways, but it all counts for nothing. It's dust alone for the team in red. It's glory for South Africa.
New Zealand remain as the only team to have beaten South Africa here since England won on this ground in 1994. The Lions' excellent test record at Loftus Versfeld suffers a major blow today as their series comes to an end. One more match for pride and nothing more. In 97 it was 2-0 to the Lions. The reverse now. South Africa have their cherished moment, their piece of history that was missing, that was hurting, that was irking them for the past dozen years. We saw the desolate Paul O'Connell at the end of full time, and now he's with Graham.
Miles, thank you very much indeed, Paul. Many commiserations. Does that border on the cruel?
Yeah, it's very disappointing. Concede the try and should have never conceded really, and then to concede the penalty at the end is just very disappointing.
You talked last week about you running out of time. Did it feel today as though you ran out of players?
Yeah, I suppose with a lot of injuries, and that definitely told. I mean, when Brian went off, you know, he's a linchpin of the team. It was tough, but you know, we just didn't play enough in the second half. When we played in the first half, we were all over them, and we just didn't play in the second half.
Still thought you'd done enough to get at least a draw. Did you feel that way in the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, I did. I thought we'd done enough to get the draw and keep the series alive, but that's it's just very disappointing now, you know.
It's hard to think straight at moments like this, Paul, and maybe unfair to ask, but how proud did you feel of your boys out there today?
Yeah, you know, I mean, the way we played in the first half, before I came on tour, I knew we could do it. When you put everyone together, I knew we could do that, you know, and it's probably just, you know, I mean, we needed to do it for 80 minutes, though. You know, we did it for the second 40 last week, did it for the first 40 this week, and just left it behind us today. The commitment was incredible. I think, you know, guys are so proud to play for the Lions, and they want to make the Lions work and win for the Lions, and it's just very disappointing that the way it panned out.
It's tougher defeat as you've ever had to bear, Paul.
Well, right now it is, yeah, absolutely.
Commiserations, go pick your boys up. You should be proud. Thank you, my man.
Well, it's hard really to put into words from a Lions perspective there. With the last play of the game, Ronan O'Gara conceded that penalty and Mornay Stain took his chance, and with that the series is over. What could have been today and what could have been last week as well. It was, though, you have to say, one of the great test matches. Pure drama from start to finish, but utter desolation for everyone involved with this tour, both from a management, a players and a fans perspective. A sad finish, and you have to feel so sorry for him. Oh. Anyway, the third test next week for pride only. Unfortunately, from a Lions perspective, we will be in Johannesburg, though, to Ellis Park for the third test between the South Africa and the Lions from 1 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. It looked so good, didn't it, though, for the Lions at half-time at 16-8 up. And they lost some key men in the midfield, and then, with only 3 minutes on the clock, Stephen Jones levelling things up at 25 all. That was the penalty, and that was the moment that will go down in South African history. Mornay Stain taking the series, this South African side, world champions, Tri-Nations champions, and now conquerors of the Lions. They have achieved it all.
Good. No, you're crossing.